Live in high definition from WBFF in Baltimore. This is Fox 45 News at 10.
Hello, I'm Karen Parks.
And I'm Kai Jackson. A fraternity in College Park is the latest one to be at the center of a racially charged controversy.
An email was dated January of last year. In it, the writer uses racial slurs and graphic comments about sex.
Kathleen Cairns tells us what's happening to the person who wrote the message.
Kappa Sigma fraternity members are packing up for spring break. At the University of Maryland, the campus is usually filled with pride. But on this Friday the 13th, there's also embarrassment, according to some students.
Going out of your way to say something like that is kind of like just disgusting.
Jackson Quaid is a member of a different fraternity. He's outraged by comments made in an email and sent by a member of Kappa Sigma. University President Wallace Lowe also condemned it. Meanwhile, the author of that controversial email has already met with school administrators, and an investigation is underway. National officials with Kappa Sigma also issued a statement about what has been called a racial and sexually suggestive email. It states it's glad swift and decisive action was taken on the part of the Maryland frat. Frat members here today are not commenting, but other members of this campus community are eager to share their outrage over the contents of that email.
It's frustrating as a student of color. I graduated from here, so it's a little unnerving sometimes to know that these things still happen.
The author of the email has reportedly resigned from the fraternity. What further action the university may take is unclear. In College Park, Kathleen Cairns, Fox 45 News.
And the former chapter of Sigma Alpha Epsilon that was kicked out of the University of Oklahoma over a video showing a racist chant is now planning legal action against the university. It may also sue University President David Boren. The group has hired high-profile attorney Stephen Jones to represent them. Jones says the group is outraged over Boren shutting down the fraternity house and branding all SAE members there as racist and bigots.
I'm not ruling out a lawsuit. I'm saying that our preference is to proceed in a non-legal solution, a non-adversarial solution, and a non-litigation solution. If that's not possible, although we act in good faith and present this, then obviously we will have to consider other possibilities.
He says the two students who were expelled have apologized, and now the incident is being exploited. New allegations of another chapter of the Sigma Alpha Epsilon fraternity using racial slurs, this time in Seattle. University of Washington students are accusing members of the fraternity of yelling insults at them during a Black Lives Matter protest last month.
That's when they started shouting and then flipping us off and started saying, like, "You apes, why are you here? Get out of here."
The chapter's president says it was two strangers who were standing near the SAE house, but protesters say more than two people were yelling insults from multiple places on the SAE property.
We're learning more about what happened Wednesday night when two police officers were shot just after midnight in Ferguson, Missouri. Here's part of that 911 audio.
Got an officer down, shots fired at their station in Ferguson. All cars en route to the officer down, officer need of aid. 3190, are you clear? Officer down, 222 South Florissant.
Ferguson Alpha Jennings en route for an officer down, officer shooting.
Shots fired, officer down. En route to the officer down.
The protests were happening at the police department shortly after the police chief stepped down. The officers have already been released from the hospital. And the manhunt continues for whoever shot the officers. So far, there have been no arrests. Investigators say the person inside the home they searched yesterday cooperated with them. They're also considering the type of weapon that may have been used.
I don't necessarily ascribe to the fact that this has to be a marksman somewhere with a scope. It may turn out to be, but I don't think that would have had to have been necessary in this case.
Crime Stoppers is offering $10,000, and two Missouri congressmen have put up an additional $3,000 for any information on the suspects. The Missouri Highway Patrol and St. Louis County Police have taken over patrolling protests. City police will continue to handle routine matters elsewhere in Ferguson.
New developments in the story of an East Baltimore neighborhood where residents say they haven't seen trash collection in more than 2 weeks. Keith Daniels is live at the Department of Public Works with word crews have finally got the job done, Keith.
Well, God, that's right. Now, neighbors were calling the rotting garbage in their streets a health hazard and endless food supply for rats. Now, they complained to the city. We asked questions, and tonight, crews responded, and our cameras were there. It's Friday afternoon. We're back on Robert Bacon's block.
It's just garbage.
Same story, different day.
At one point, we could take it and put it on Stephanie Round's Blake yard.
The mayor.
The mayor. And see how would she like this trash being out like that?
Garbage piled high outside homes on Milton Avenue near Monument Street, just like it was Wednesday when we first met Bacon.
I keep getting the runaround.
Residents say smelly trash has been stacked up here for more than 2 weeks, despite repeated calls to Baltimore City with complaints. But Friday afternoon, just moments after our follow-up report and another phone call from Fox 45 to the Department of Public Works, sanitation teams arrived. We caught up with crew member James Hill. What took you so long?
The bad weather. That's all, because any other time we on schedule. It was just the ice, you know, things like that, the weather. People just got to have some patience with us. You know, truck sliding, you can't, you know, come in icy alleys, you know, with a big truck.
Public Works officials say crews are dealing with a heavy backlog. Pickups delayed by recent winter storms. But they're here now, cleaning up.
It's about time because the trash been here 2 weeks.
In this neighborhood,
it's just good to see that it's finally gonna be gone.
On Bacon's block.
I would have helped them. Yes, indeed. I'm proud of them. I'm satisfied now.
Well, public works officials say they're trying to do makeup days for collections to help them catch up. They say pickup schedules should be back to normal next week. We're live in downtown Baltimore. Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
Harford County Police have arrested a Baltimore County man on child pornography charges. 20-year-old Raymond Goodridge has been charged with possession and intent to distribute child pornography. Investigators believe there may be victims who have had contact with Goodridge. He's being held at the Harford County Detention Center on a $250,000 bond. Anyone with information about this story is asked to contact police. And Baltimore police are looking for these two people who've been missing since mid-December. This is Terrell Lehman and Charles Webster. The two were last seen December 18th on Rawworth Road. Anyone with information about them is asked to contact police.
The man whose Secret Service says scaled a fence and ran into the White House before finally being stopped by agents pled guilty to 2 charges related to the incident today. Omar Gonzalez originally faced 7 charges, including 2 counts of assaulting a police officer. Because of a plea deal, he only faces 1 count of unlawful injury and 1 count of assaulting an officer. Gonzalez will be sentenced in June. He could get up to 1.5 years in prison.
Howard County Police have arrested a father and son they say are behind a driveway paving scam in Laurel, and police are looking for more. Paul Frank and his son Spanky Frank have been charged with 4 counts of illegally selling home improvements and acting as a contractor without a license. Investigators say they were buying what looked like black paint, mixing it with gasoline and using that mixture to reseal the driveway. Police are still looking for Paul's other son, Ace Frank. Anyone with information is asked to contact police.
In Annapolis, state lawmakers are debating a series of bills aimed at helping kids improve their health. As John Riddell explains, that includes healthier meals at school and at restaurants.
No matter where you live, you're never far from a fast food restaurant. And if you have children, that means picking up a kid's meal. But health advocates would like those meals to include healthy drinks and not a soda. They say new stats from the CDC paint a bleak picture of children's health.
In Maryland right now, there's 11% of the children are obese and about another 15% are overweight. So it's an epidemic in the country and in Maryland as well.
A bill which would have banned sodas in kids' meals has already been defeated. Some lawmakers are crafting a compromise bill, which would still require restaurants to offer healthier drinks, like 100% fruit juice, low-fat milk, or bottled water. Some large fast food chains already do this. And another bill would call for health professionals to create healthier school meals with far less sugar.
There's a lot of schools offer what they consider healthy meals, but in reality they're not. And those are things like yogurt, parfaits, which actually have a lot of added sugars. They appear to be healthy, but in effect they're actually not.
But opponents of these bills say any decisions on what kids eat or drink, whether it be at school or in fast food restaurants, should really be up to the parents and not the government.
We cannot usurp the authority, or we should not, of parents to, dictate what, if anything, their kids consume. It seems to me, and we do entirely too much of that from Annapolis.
A battle among lawmakers over how much authority they should exert to help improve the health of kids. In Annapolis, John Rydell, Fox 45 News.
And here's our question of the day. Should restaurants be required to offer healthy drinks with kids' meals? Join the discussion right now. Go to facebook.com/FoxBaltimore.
In Annapolis, a House committee is making cuts in Governor Hogan's budget. Democratic leaders are trying to restore $250 million that was cut from K through 12 education. The Maryland State Education Association says if those cuts are restored, it will be a big win for educators.
This is a far better budget for Maryland. It's a better budget for Maryland's students, for our schools, for our future, because it restores more than 90% of the school funding cuts of Governor Hogan's $144 million in school funding cuts.
The budget will soon be debated in the full House of Delegates, and then it goes to the Senate. Last summer, Marianne Bannister left Fox 45 to take care of her daughter.
Claire Wagenhurst was a senior at Notre Dame Prep more than 3 years ago. Claire noticed a spot on her ankle. It was melanoma.
She died from that disease in October. Tomorrow, students from 9 different schools will participate in a 5-hour dance marathon at Loyola Blakefield called Moves for Claire. It's an event benefiting the Claire Marie Foundation, dedicated to raising awareness about adolescent melanoma. The event was organized by area students.
Been very anxious for how long we've worked on this, and we're just really excited to see how it turns out for this cause, and just seeing how happy it makes everyone else, and Miss Wagenhurst and the whole entire community bringing everyone together for a good cause.
And you can learn more about the Claire Marie Foundation. Their website is linked to ours at foxbaltimore.com/newslinks.
Seems like a lot of places are banning selfie sticks. Why museums may want to reconsider that policy in our cover story tonight.
But next, Hillary Clinton's email controversy. Question tonight about a promise she was supposed to make before she left her job as Secretary of State.
A controversy involving a race in Boley's quarters. Why the fire department felt compelled to respond, even though it's not involved. When the News at 10 continues.
And we're looking at a rainy night overnight. We'll be talking about that coming up.
Lexus is a proud sponsor of Fox 45 News.
In the fraction of time we spend driving in reverse, about 500,000 accidents occur each year, which is why the Infiniti QX60 has the world's first safety technology available, like backup collision intervention, which can brake even before you do, to help keep everyone safe. Lease the all-wheel drive Infiniti QX60 for $399 a month. Visit your local Infiniti retailer.
When you set out to find new roads, you pioneer connectivity, champion efficiency, elevate form, reinvent a category, and you attract a lot of attention. Chevrolet, the most awarded car company over the last year.
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 6 years plus $1,000 purchase bonus cash on this 2015 Cruise. See your Baltimore area Chevy dealers.
I love our new chair from Value City Furniture.
Beautiful chase, isn't it?
I believe it's pronounced chaise.
Chase.
Chaise. Chaise.
Chase.
Chaise. 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 Chaise.
Chase.
All we can do is make getting great style easy. The rest is up to you. Value City Furniture. Style comes easy.
Koons is the #1 selling Toyota dealer, Ford dealer, GM dealer, Jeep dealer, Kia dealer, and on and on and on. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. And buy now and Koons will give you more. Get up to 125% Kelly Blue Book for your trade. If your car is worth $8,000, Koons will give you 10. Get more for your trade now at one of the nation's biggest, Koons.com. When you're talking cars, you're talking Koons.
More fallout after a controversial post on a Bowley's Quarters Social Club Facebook page. Adam Yosem tells us the Bowley's Quarters Fire Department is getting backlash, even though it wasn't involved in the controversy.
We were appalled by the postings that were on there.
Bowley's Quarters Volunteer Fire Department President John Hammond has been busy deleting messages from people accusing his organization of being racist. He's making it clear they aren't, and that his department isn't affiliated with the community Facebook page where someone posted a comment that ignited a firestorm.
I call it computer courage. When people aren't actually in front of someone, they'll tend to say things that they wouldn't say if they were face-to-face with that person.
The fire department down the road from where one person posted on the Bowley's Quarters Social Club asking about 3 African-American men walking around the neighborhood, to which a person commented, "Just shoot them. Bowley's Quarters hasn't been on the news this week." Hammond says that isolated comment shouldn't reflect the community as a whole.
I think anything with the name Bowley's Quarters is being given a bad rap on this because the fire department has nothing to do with the rest of the social groups in the community. Our job is to help them during an emergency, and that's what we're here for.
Another unintended consequence came from the blogger who broke the story. James MacArthur of the Baltimore Spectator says he got a cease and desist letter concerning the photo of him by a radio station vehicle. The same photo MacArthur has been using for several years on every post. MacArthur plans on changing the photo to where the logo won't be visible back in Bowley's Quarters.
It's a wonderful place to live, and it's not like that.
Hammond says what happened in the community should serve as a reminder. Think twice before posting. In Baltimore County, Adam Yosem, Fox 45 News.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton remains under the microscope for how she handled email on the job. Clinton, a potential presidential candidate, continues to be criticized for not using the State Department server to archive her email correspondence. Clinton says it was the government that gave her the choice of how to use email. She chose a private server and noted many of her predecessors have done the same. Mrs. Clinton had an excess of 62,000 emails on the job, yet roughly half of those were deleted by her, who said they were personal in nature, not relating to her job.
This kind of practice where you are making things as opaque as possible, where you are doing away with evidence based on your own judgment, and where you have a history of not being terribly honest, this is a problem.
Clinton says she never sent classified material over email. Rather, she dealt with those matters through aides or in face-to-face meetings. Meanwhile, the State Department is refusing to say whether Mrs. Clinton signed a form when she left office, promising not to destroy any written communication.
President Obama is wrapping up a visit to the VA hospital in Phoenix that triggered the scandal over veterans' health care. The meeting was a chance for the president and VA Secretary Robert McDonald to gauge the pace of progress for a department still reeling from a crisis of confidence. Problems included chronic system-wide management, destroyed files, delays, and veterans who died waiting for care.
The whole system is broken from top to bottom, and it's not just within the hospital. It goes right to the top of the VA.
The White House says there have been changes, which include hundreds of new hires, more patients can see private medical care, and wait times are said to be down.
As President Obama moves forward with delicate multinational negotiations with Iran over its nuclear program, there's been a new fly in the ointment this week: Congress. As national correspondent Christine Frizzell tells us, 47 Republican senators are working to derail any deal, and they are not backing down.
At long last, Washington, D.C. is finally beginning to thaw. But even as winter fades away, a new chill this week between Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill, in large part due to this one-page letter and this man, freshman Senator Tom Cotton. He wrote it and says that the letter
states basic facts of American constitutional law to Iran's leaders, that if Congress doesn't approve a deal, Congress will not accept a deal. Not now, not tomorrow, not in the future.
Cotton is an Iraq War veteran, and at just 37 years old is the youngest member in the Senate. And this week, at least one of the most outspoken voices on current negotiations with Iran.
They are the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism.
That sentiment has been a controversial one this week, with Democrats and the White House pleading their case as well, moving forward with a plan they say will make Iran less likely, not more, to attain a nuclear weapon.
That attempting to sandbag the President of the United States in the midst of negotiations that he's engaged in, not just with Iran, but with our international partners, is not just unprecedented, but inappropriate.
As for Senator Cotton, he is now doubling down, defending the letter and his action, taken with under 70 days as a senator under his belt.
I consider it a badge of honor that I and so many other of my Republican senators are being attacked by a murderous dictator like Ayatollah Khamenei.
In Washington, I'm Christine Frizzell, Fox 45 News.
A Baltimore woman whose premature death led to conquering one of the world's deadliest diseases was honored at City Hall today. Henrietta Lacks died of cervical cancer at the age of 31, but her legacy to the medical industry continues to this day. Pathologists found that cells from her cancerous tumor, taken without her knowledge or consent, were somehow able to be preserved and multiply. At the time, most harvested cells had a very limited lifespan once outside the body. Those cells, which came to be known as the HeLa line of cells, were instrumental in developing the polio vaccine in the 1950s. To this day, Lacks' immortal HeLa cell line has contributed to research in cancer, AIDS, gene mapping, as well as 11,000 medical patents.
Baltimore City Police are trying to make sure everyone stays safe this St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Today, the Baltimore Police Department discussed some safety precautions for those participating in festivities around town. They're reminding everyone to be aware of your surroundings and valuable items. Police say they want people to plan to have fun responsibly.
Once you reach your entertainment venue, know that open containers of alcohol are prohibited in open public spaces, and that public intoxication will not be tolerated.
Police are reminding everyone to have a designated driver or another safe and sober way to get home if you plan to drink. Additional officers will be on duty, and there will be sobriety checkpoints.
Well, it seems rain is on the way. Not sure if we're going to get a four-leaf clover weekend on Saturday.
You know what I'm about to say. I'll take rain any day over snow.
She doesn't like snow.
Meteorologist Dawn Brown is here with your first look at your Weather Authority forecast. Hey there, Dawn.
Hey, you know, I was thinking about the public safety aspect with the police, and rain, I'm sure, helps them. You know, people don't like to get too out of control when it's rainy and kind of dreary out, and that's what we're looking at least for Saturday. Sunday, have at it. No, I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. No. But anyway, as far as Saturday, it will dampen the forecast a little bit. A lot of runs on Saturday. The Shamrock 5K, we've got the Chesapeake City Run, which does have a rain date. Gaithersburg has an event. Ocean City, rain or shine, running, and all the other events, rain or shine as well. We are seeing the rain already starting to filter in. It's light rain, a little bit of drizzle, not much at this point, but there's a big storm out to the west, and it's continuing to pump into this region. A lot of moisture coming with it. Taking a look at the temperatures, this is what's keeping us in the rain and not in the snow. Temperatures in the mid-40s, and they're going to hang on to the mid-40s as we go into the overnight hours. Here's a look at that overnight forecast. Starting off with rain around midnight. Again, I said to bring that raincoat with you as you headed out the door. 44 degrees, 7 a.m., 42, and 53 by 10 a.m. And we do expect rain for most of the day. It should end tomorrow afternoon. I'll have a hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
Dawn, thank you. Questions tonight about flooring from one company.
I love the flooring. I just don't know if it's killing me.
The chemical that may be inside and the action Lumber Liquidators is taking.
But next, they stopped an attempted abduction. The special thank you to a Washington town gave to two teens.
Meet the eligible bachelors of Seinfeld.
I'm single, I'm thin, and I'm neat. I can't get my pants off.
Lord of the Idiots.
Tonight at 11:30 and midnight.
Fox Sunday.
There's another person on Earth!
Yeah. The comedy that's blowing everyone away has another huge surprise.
Bill Miller, what's gotten into you?
The Last Man on Earth.
Sunday at 9:30 on Fox 45.
Save big at Bob Bell Chevrolet in Baltimore and Bel Air. Enjoy special offers when you upgrade to a new, safer, more reliable Chevrolet. Upgrade now and lower your payment with up to 15% off select Chevy award-winning vehicles like the Cruze, Malibu, Silverado, and Equinox. And up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Plus, only at Bob Bell can you get Bell Care for life. Learn more and view all our great offers online at BobBellChevy.com or visit us today.
I love this new bed from Value City Furniture. It's so giant, it's like having two luxurious beds. One over by you for business time, and one over here for pleasure. Business. Pleasure. Business. Pleasure.
It's one bed, Steve.
All we can do is make getting great style easy. The rest is up to you. Value City Furniture. Style comes easy.
When you set out to find new roads, you obsess over safety, pioneer connectivity, elevate form, reinvent a category, and you attract a lot of attention. Chevrolet, the most awarded car company over the last year.
Right now, current qualified competitive lessees can get this 2015 Chevy Equinox LT for around $189 a month. See your Baltimore area Chevy dealers.
A man pioneers a way to see the unseen, leading to radar, forever providing early warnings and safer journeys. The conviction to create a safer journey is the Mazda way. The Mazda 6 uses radar, lasers, and sensors to detect objects and even apply the brakes for you. Introducing the modern sports sedan, the 2015 Mazda 6. What do you drive?
In Colorado, a violent scuffle inside a Cricket cell phone store between a police officer and an armed suspect. Earlier in the day, the suspect is accused of running into a nearby school with a loaded weapon. No one inside was hurt. Once he left the school, he ended up inside the store, where a quick conversation turned into a brawl.
I was just helping him just with the problem with his phone, and all of a sudden, they started going at it.
The brawl ended safely. No word on charges.
The toddler is grabbed from his stroller and in the arms of a running kidnapper. Now, the Washington State teenagers who rescued him are being honored. 15-year-old Andrew Crane and 16-year-old Isaiah Yao are being called heroes by the family of the toddler and the sheriff in Lincoln County. According to police, a babysitter was supposed to be supervising 3 siblings. Police say somehow a 15-year-old managed to get a 22-month-old toddler out of his stroller and started running down the street with him. The toddler's 10-year-old brother and 8-year-old sister started running after him, yelling and screaming. That noise alerted Crane and Yao, who started chasing the 15-year-old. He eventually dropped the toddler and ran away. Now the duo is honored with a certificate of appreciation by the mayor of Sprague, Washington.
It means a lot to me. It means that I know that my community cares, and I know that they support what I did, and it makes me happy that they do.
I was at the right place at the right time, and I just ran after the guy.
Strangely, the suspect is a classmate of the teens who stopped him. They know him and say he's had problems in the past. The 15-year-old boy was booked in the juvenile detention facility on suspicion of second-degree kidnapping.
I love the flooring. I just don't know if it's killing me.
The dangerous chemical that may be in some flooring when the News at 10 continues.
And it seems a lot of places are banning selfie sticks. The reason museums may want to reconsider that idea when the News at 10 continues.
And we're already seeing the rain on the radar, but is it falling to the ground? We'll talk about that. And also how much rain we can expect overnight and into tomorrow coming up.
I used to drive a Chevy. We went around the country talking to people who made the switch to Ford.
It's almost like driving a little sports car.
The Escape is a 4-cylinder car, but it runs like a 6-cylinder.
All my friends love it too. This is the car that all his friends want him to drive so they can be in it.
They've thought of everything, it seems like.
I feel like I've morphed into 2025.
It's fantastic. I love it. Now lease a Ford Escape for $189 a month or get up to $2,740 in total savings and switch to the brand more people search, buy, and stay with.
Come
to Gardner's this week and save. Get your scratch-off card in the mail or in the store and save up to 55%. Plus, get 1 year special financing through Monday only at Gardner's Furniture and Mattress.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
They're setting up the flag now.
Houston, we have a problem. We can't do it. Who in the world is that?
They've got the flag up now.
If you can't, we can.
If you can't, we can. Michael and Son.
Welcome to Subway. Can I help you?
What footlong can I get for $6?
Any of them.
What?
What?
What? Any of them?
Any.
Any?
Any of them.
Any? Of the tuna. Wait, no, BMT. Oh, spicy Italian. Oh, wait, leg force ham.
Breathe. Just breathe.
Get to Subway in March. Any footlong is just $6 or less, including the Italian BMT, the chicken and bacon ranch melt, and sweet onion chicken teriyaki. Any footlong, $6 or less.
Roast beef.
Absolutely.
Subway Club?
No problem.
Steak and cheese.
You got it.
Fox 45 News is brought to you today by Luna.
With Luna, get half off carpet, hardwood, and laminate, padding and materials, and installation.
877-241 Luna.
When you set out to find new roads, you pioneer connectivity, champion efficiency, elevate form, reinvent a category. And you attract a lot of attention. Chevrolet, the most awarded car company over the last year.
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 6 years plus $1,000 purchase bonus cash on this 2015 Cruise. See your Baltimore area Chevy dealers.
New at 10:30 tonight, questions about flooring from lumber liquidators. A reporter in 60 Minutes earlier this month said that flooring from the company had high levels of formaldehyde. Josie Sturman from our sister station in Washington, D.C., found one woman with flooring from the company inside her home.
Eve Murphy has laminate flooring from lumber liquidators laid wall to wall in her Germantown home.
I love the flooring. I just don't know if it's killing me.
Murphy says in the weeks after she moved in, she began experiencing serious health problems, chest pain, breathing issues. Her health scare left her wondering if the boards below her feet were the cause.
This issue with lumber liquidators has come up. I'd be foolish not to say, let's look at the flooring.
Murphy and others are now looking after a 60 Minutes report raised safety questions about Chinese-made laminate sold by lumber liquidators, claiming it contains high levels of formaldehyde. The Virginia company denies that, saying it will continue selling the product because it's safe and complies with regulations. But yesterday, it agreed to offer air quality testing to concerned customers. But Eve wants more than just air quality testing. She actually let us tear apart her kitchen to get a sample of the laminate so she can have that tested.
You have to do your due diligence. You have to get to the root cause. You can't just jump up and down and say, this is it.
But some customers have already cast claims of blame in court. The 7 on Your Side I team found class action lawsuits against lumber liquidators filed in at least 4 states.
My first thought is, I want all of this out of here. But I will do what I need to do to first find out if this product is causing my problems.
In Germantown, Josie Sturman, ABC 7 News.
Police are asking for your help in the search for a stabbing suspect. Officers reported to East 28th Street near Hugo Avenue yesterday and found a 30-year-old man with at least 1 stab wound to his body. That victim was transported to an area hospital where he died from his injuries. If you have any information, you're asked to call 410-396-2100. A report of an unauthorized person in a D.C. Metro train tunnel overnight ends with police shooting and killing that man. The Potomac Avenue station was shut down as firefighters removed the body from the tracks about 400 feet east of the Metro station. Officials say they had no idea why the man was in the tunnel. It's not clear if there was an exchange of gunfire or if the man was even armed. Authorities say the officer was not hurt. The Secret Service is under investigation again after a recent incident in Washington.
Sources say 2 Secret Service agents had been drinking at a going-away party for the agency's spokesman when the agents came upon an active investigation, driving through the police tape and crashing into temporary barriers. Newly appointed Secret Service Director Joe Clancy now faces a serious challenge.
He's going to have to put a high-powered microscope over every aspect of this agency, everything from morale to culture, to use of technology and protocol and training. Got to look at all of those things to make sure that we get it right.
I really worry if the new Secret Service director does not fundamentally transform the Secret Service, we are going to continue to have these problems.
According to a source, the agents involved are George Ogilvy, a top supervisor in the Washington field office, and Mark Connolly, a high-ranking member of the president's personal security detail.
An outlet mall planned for development in the White Marsh area has stalled. Mary McKenzie explains why neighbors are opposed to the project.
From the hustle and bustle of I-95 and Route 43 to this. 83 acres of open space alongside the interstate in White Marsh, which may not be quiet for long. It's slated for a major development project, but not without objections.
There are serious problems with the stormwater runoff. This major development is on the headwaters of an already impaired stream.
All of this space would be used for upscale shops and restaurants, as well as commercial office buildings, some luxury apartments, and a hotel.
But the project has hit a snag after an appeal from neighbors over the traffic and the impact on the environment, as well as the White Marsh Mall, which is concerned about competition. The County Board of Appeals has now decided to reconsider the project, sending it back to the judge who first approved it with additional questions.
We have to respect the county's processes. It's obviously a step we didn't want to have to go through, but we do, and it's just another step in the process.
We view it as a victory, a huge step forward. And the developer, for reasons I think purely of money, wants to be excused from the current stormwater regulations, and we say, no way, we object.
The attorney for the neighborhood organization says they're not completely opposed to the project.
They just want development that complies with the current requirements for stormwater and traffic.
Yeah, we are continuing to move forward and all speed ahead, and just another step in the process, and we have to keep going.
The board has 2 weeks to draft their questions and send the plans back to the judge for review. In White Marsh, Mary McKenzie, Fox 45 News.
As museums and tourist attractions aim to find more ways to socially engage visitors, the selfie stick, a sticking point.
Yeah, it is. Karen Kafel looks at the debate dividing the museum world and why some museums may want to allow them.
When spring comes to Washington, more tourists do too. Among the most popular destinations, the free Smithsonian museums like Air and Space and Natural History. But a recent update to visitor policies is getting some attention. An existing ban on tripods and monopods inside now extends to those popular selfie sticks.
We want to make sure that they were included in the policy so that our visitors can have a safe but enjoyable visit, and we also keep our objects safe.
The recent selfie stick boom has led to similar policies at London's National Gallery and the Metropolitan Museum of Art and the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Smithsonian Press Secretary John Gibbons says it's about protecting a museum's collection.
You have, paintings on walls, you have statuary and objects on pedestals that are all valuable and fragile, and we want to make sure that they stay safe. They're the reason why the people are visiting in the first place.
My selfie stick may not be welcome inside here at the museums of the Smithsonian, but it's actually ignited a debate among other museums as they strive to stay socially relevant and engaged.
More and more museums are simply saying, no, we welcome your photographs. It's a way for you to engage with the art and share it socially.
Elizabeth Merritt is founding director of the Center for the Future of Museums at the American Alliance of Museums. She says for those museums that have only recently come around to allowing photography, the selfie stick may be a bit of a stretch.
Is it safe for the paintings and the sculpture? And is it safe for the other visitors? And the emerging consensus is no, it's not safe to have somebody waving a stick around.
At Washington's museum, visitors see some of history's greatest shots, and if inspired to snap their own, spokesman Jonathan Thompson says selfie sticks are welcome here.
We have staff on every floor of the museum that's always monitoring visitors and making sure everyone's safe. So I think that's really our first line of defense in terms of selfie sticks.
Back at the Smithsonian, they stress they're not being antisocial.
We're not banning selfies. They're absolutely encouraged to take selfies, just the handheld kind.
You just have to do it yourself. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
Well, it looks like a good weekend tomorrow to catch a movie, huh?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that. Yes, a movie.
Other indoor activities.
I know. Well, you know, it's funny.
Watching TV inside.
We've been indoors so much over the last month because of the cold weather that everybody's, you know, I wouldn't be surprised just because it's above freezing that people are out and about and enjoying it, running the race.
Anyway,
of course.
It'll be nice and warm in the 50s.
And you said a couple of the races that you announced are rain or shine.
Oh, yeah. Shamrock 5K, it's going on. Ocean City says rain or shine. Gaithersburg, rain or shine. So head out and enjoy it. Grab your poncho and enjoy the temperatures that will be in the 50s, actually warmer than today. Today it was in the 40s. All right, HD radar showing that we are getting quite a bit of rain showing up on the map, but interesting, a lot of this because of the dry air isn't all falling to the ground. So a lot of the radar that you are seeing is not quite making it to the ground, but it will. Don't worry, we got plenty of moisture coming in from the south. Taking a closer look though at the Baltimore area, and you can see out towards 695, right near the 95, there is a little bit that is a little bit of heavier activity. Now again, it's not going to be as heavy as it shows here, but there is some rain falling to the ground at this point at that location. So most of this again is not falling to the ground because there's just so much dry air out there, but we will see throughout the night heavier rainfall. All right, as I was saying, the temperatures are in the 40s, so well above freezing as far as those temperatures are concerned. This is why we're getting rain versus snow. Now these temperatures are going to stay in the mid 40s throughout the night because we have warmer air coming up from the south. It's going to mix down, and that's why we're going to get that rain really coming down tomorrow. About an inch and a half possibly across the area. No flood watches though. That's the good news. All right, right now temperatures again in the mid 40s down at the Inner Harbor. We are seeing temperatures 44, 45 degrees. If I can get my little button to work here. There we go, 45 degrees. It advanced too fast. Sorry about that. Radar and satellite showing that, again, this is a large swath of a system. We've actually got a front up to our north, and we have a low pressure system down over Texas and Arkansas and Missouri, making its way into our region, pushing all this moisture out ahead of it, warmer air coming out ahead of it, and with that, we are seeing that rain just falling all across the Tennessee and Ohio Valley. Actually, there's flood watches all the way from Ohio to the south. Now, again, we're just seeing mostly cloudy skies, but the forecast models are painting a wet picture starting tonight, midnight, through about 7 a.m., maybe a little bit of a break right around 7, and then from 8 o'clock till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, light to moderate to even heavy rainfall at times, even possibly a thunderstorm down to our south, down in the lower Chesapeake later on in the afternoon. So it's going to be a soggy day, but then Sunday looking very good. We will see that sun break out for Sunday. 42 tonight, again, the rain developing, and then for tomorrow we'll be in the mid-50s. If you do have St. Patrick's Day plans, again, make sure that you have an umbrella or you bring your rain poncho, and we will have that 7-day forecast with some sun coming up in just a bit.
The Constellation returns to the Inner Harbor, the thing that delayed its return. In 10 minutes on Fox 45 News at 10.
And why computers may be better than doctors at diagnosing tumors when we come back.
It's Heritage Auto Group's March Markdown event. Over 10,000 total vehicles with savings up to $12,000 or 0% APR for 72 months. The selection never better. The savings never bigger. It ends when the month ends at all Heritage Auto Group locations.
The fact is, when you engineer a truck like Ram 1500 with best-in-class 29 miles per gallon highway and a 9,200-pound towing capacity, your playground gets a whole lot bigger. Get a great deal during Ram Truck Month.
During Truck Month, well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on Ram 1500 Express Crew Cab for $239 a month.
Your
bed isn't just for sleeping anymore. Sleepy's selection of adjustable bases contour to fit your life. Read, work, and watch TV comfortably. And for the first time ever, shop Sleepy's half-price adjustable base sale and save half off select adjustables throughout the store. With a Serta Pivot Up foundation starting at just $5.99. Do more on your mattress with an adjustable base at half off. Now through Saturday at Sleepy's, the only mattress professionals.
Fios talks big, but take a closer look. Their story is half-baked. Fios claims more on demand, but they charge for 7 out of 10 shows. Xfinity delivers the most on demand on all devices, and over 80% are free. Plus, with the cloud-based X1 DVR, take your DVR library anywhere. You can't do that with Fios. And with Xfinity from Comcast, you'll get the fastest, most reliable in-home Wi-Fi. Call or click today for a great offer.
Koons is the #1 selling Toyota dealer, Ford dealer, GM dealer, Jeep dealer, Kia dealer, and on and on and on. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting. And buy now and Koons will give you more. Get up to 125% Kelly Blue Book for your trade. If your car is worth $8,000, Koons will give you 10. Get more for your trade now at one of the nation's biggest, Koons.com. When you're talking cars, you're talking Koons.
It's Ashley Furniture Home Store's 70th anniversary, and we're celebrating with 2 huge offers. Save up to 50% store-wide on your purchase and no interest financing up to 70 months. Ashley Furniture Home Store has been famous for the best values on the biggest selection of Ashley Furniture styles. Save on sofas, sectionals, motion, and leather furniture, dining rooms, bedrooms, and accessories. Then buy it all with up to 50% savings and no interest up to 70 months. The 70th anniversary savings event at Ashley Furniture Home Store.
An American healthcare worker is now at the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda after testing positive for Ebola in West Africa. Doctors say the patient is in serious condition but are not identifying the person. According to the National Institutes of Health, the worker came into contact with the virus while volunteering in an Ebola treatment unit in Sierra Leone. The World Health Organization estimates that more than 10,000 people have died from the disease.
Now for a medical breakthrough that may leave some men feeling a bit uncomfortable. This team of surgeons in South Africa has performed the world's first successful transplant of a human penis. It was performed back in December and took 9 hours. The patient needed the operation because he developed severe complications after a traditional South African circumcision, and his own penis had to be amputated to save his life. According to doctors, this is the first time a transplanted organ has been fully functional.
The robot radiologist is here. San Francisco-based startup Enlitic is using artificial intelligence to detect and prevent cancer, pushing medicine firmly into the 21st century. Rachel Crane finds out why their deep learning algorithms can be better at diagnosing tumors than doctors.
It's a terrifying fact of life. Doctors make mistakes. And that's why artificial intelligence startup Enlitic is turning computers into cancer-detecting radiologists.
What we're trying to accomplish at Enlitic is to create what we call data-driven medicine.
And the way you're doing that is with computers, not people.
Yes, that's correct. We use something called machine learning. Machine learning is where you get a computer to figure something out by looking at previous examples. We take the information about you as a patient and compare it to the previous 50 million patients to find the people that have had the exact same symptoms and tests and so forth as you, and figure out how did they get better, what happened to them, and then we can use that insight to decide how best to treat you.
Do you then think that this software, that Enlitic, could actually help save lives then?
Oh, the software of Enlitic will for sure save lives. It won't just save lives, but it'll also save a huge amount of stress. We have algorithms right now that can find earlier and more accurately whether or not you have lung cancer. If we can find out that early, you have a 400% better chance of survival.
While Enlitic is still in development, its bleeding-edge technology has piqued the interests of doctors like oncologist Igor Barani, who is now the company's chief medical officer.
You yourself are a radiation oncologist. Do you think that these systems, these computers, can read scans more efficiently than you can?
Artificial intelligence is much more consistent and systematic in interpreting these scans. Most of the interpretations by radiologists are just that, subjective interpretations, whereas algorithms are unbiased. They can render an opinion based on the actual features in an image.
And now here's meteorologist Dawn Brown with your 7-day Weather Authority forecast. Dawn?
And we're looking at, again, 100% chance of showers in your Saturday forecast. A rainy day. Sunday, though, lots of sunshine and 55 degrees. And it looks like Monday, a high of 60 degrees with plenty of sunshine. And that's a look at your 7-day forecast. Of course, we'll have more on the play-by-play of the Saturday rainfall coming up in just a bit.
The Terps' first game in the Big Ten tournament. How Des Wells added to his highlight reel and to Indiana's misery. Next in Sports Unlimited.
And the Constellation returns to the Inner Harbor. The problem that delayed its return when the news at 10 continues.
When you set out to find new roads, you pioneer connectivity, champion efficiency, elevate form, reinvent a category. And you attract a lot of attention. Chevrolet, the most awarded car company over the last year.
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 6 years plus $1,000 purchase bonus cash on this 2015 Cruise. See your Baltimore area Chevy dealers.
You guys can just leave your coats right over here.
Wow, your bedroom is amazing.
Oh, thanks. We worked with a designer from Haverty's. Total refresh.
Oh, I cannot believe people.
What?
Covering up your new bed like that?
Oh, that's okay.
What kind of animals did you invite to this party?
We can help.
Oh, much better.
Refresh your space during the spring savings event at Haverty's. Plus, enjoy 24-month no-interest financing. Haverty's, discover something new.
Why you want to touch my dart so bad?
Who said I wanted to touch it?
Jake, you know they got affordable leasing program? Yeah. Just think, Jake, you could get your own and you could touch it whenever you want it. You can touch it all the time, all the time.
I don't want to touch your dart.
I know you're mad, Jake, but you gotta get your own.
I'm not mad.
I know you're mad, Jake, but you got to get your own. I know you're mad, Jake.
I'm getting mad, but I want to
get your own.
Now, well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2015 Dodge Dart SXT for $129 a month.
I love our new chair from Value City Furniture.
Beautiful chase, isn't it?
I believe it's pronounced chaise.
Chase.
Chaise. Chaise.
Chase.
Chaise. 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 Chaise.
Chase.
All we can do is make getting great style easy. The rest is up to you. Value City Furniture. Style comes easy.
高速道路で36 mpg.
Die 10 besten interiörs från Watts Auto. Fick 2015 ett totalt 5-stjärnigt säkerhetsbetyg av Nizza. Chrysler?
Yes, the best the world has to offer now comes from America. The all-new Chrysler 200. Come in and get a great deal during the Chrysler Awards season event.
Well-qualified current lessees of competitive vehicles get a low-mileage lease on the 2015 Chrysler 200 Limited for $199 a month.
Darian Stewart's on the move. Big Ben gets an extension, but first the Terps in the Big Ten quarterfinals against Indiana. Des Wells doing damage against the Hoosiers. First half, all alone, throwing it down, the tomahawk slam, then rises up and nearly rips off the rim. Maryland led by 2 at the break. Second half, 3 minutes to go, Terps up 2. Wells gets the roll, game high 22. Maryland moves on to the semifinals. 8 straight wins now, 75-69 final. The Ravens lose another player to free agency. Safety Darian Stewart is joining Gary Kubiak and Denver. The Broncos gave him a 2-year deal. Stewart started 14 games for the Ravens last year at safety. Ben Roethlisberger won't be leaving Pittsburgh anytime soon. The 33-year-old signed a 5-year extension. Roethlisberger was set to enter the final year on his old deal this season. Big Ben is coming off career highs in passing yards and completions. Another trade, Dolphins receiver Mike Wallace and a 7th-round pick have been sent to the Vikings in exchange for a 5th-rounder. Wallace signed a $60 million deal in 2013 and was set to make $9.9 million in 2015. The Dolphins replaced Wallace with Kenny Stills. They acquired him from New Orleans for a 3rd-round pick and former Raven Donnell Ellerbe. LRB signed a 5-year, $35 million deal with Miami in 2013. He was scheduled to make over $8 million this year as a linebacker. Ubaldo Jimenez's third spring start, that's coming up at 11:30 on the Late Edition.
After nearly 5 months away from the Inner Harbor, the USS Constellation is back in Baltimore.
Amber Miller went on board the historic ship today, the very first day it's open to the public.
Hi, folks. Everything going all right?
The USS Constellation is back home in Baltimore.
When people come to Baltimore, everybody talks about going to the Inner Harbor.
I've never been to Baltimore, actually. I've never seen the ship.
The more than 100-year-old ship left Pier 1 about 5 months ago, heading to the U.S. Coast Guard in Curtis Bay for a major repair project.
Replacing about 4,500 square feet of the ship's hull planking, and it was basically from the waterline down to where it transitions to what is still remaining of original planking.
The USS Constellation repair project was complete late February, but crew members had to wait for winter weather to pass through Baltimore to get it back in its place.
The weather went south on us, or went north on us, I guess, as it were, and the harbor iced over, and we couldn't get out of Curtis Creek.
Baltimoreans hoping to rent the ship and tourists ready to explore.
This morning, we washed the shipyard off of the vessel. We had the hose out, and we were moving some water around today to get all the dust and dirt and grime off the ship, so she looks beautiful now.
Happy to see the ship docked again.
We were definitely nervous because that's actually why we're here. We just wanted to make sure it was here.
I looked out my window, saw this big ship, and decided to walk over here.
The ship is open every day of the year, ready for anyone who wants to get on board. At the Inner Harbor, Amber Miller, Fox 45 News.
A special honor for military moms next on Fox 45 News at 10.
And coming up in just 5 minutes on the Late Edition, he plays a superhero in the movies, but Robert Downey Jr. becomes a real-life person and hero to a little boy thanks to some brilliant engineers, the life-changing gift he gave. And speaking of superheroes, what's with the change in wardrobe, the makeovers that some of the most recognizable icons are getting?
The Lexus Command Performance Sales Event has begun. Command track-tested precision with the fastest-growing automotive luxury brand on the road, including the exhilarating IS, powerful GS, and first-ever RC Coupe. With more new models than ever, there's never been a better time to experience Lexus performance during the Command Performance Sales Event. Get great offers on our most dynamic models now through March 31st. Lease the 2015 RC350 for $449 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
They're setting up the flag now.
Houston, we have a problem. We can't do it. Who in the world is that?
They've got the flag up now.
If you can't, we can.
If you can't, we can. Michael and Son. You guys can just leave your coats right over here.
Wow, your bedroom is amazing.
Oh, thanks. We worked with a designer from Haverty's. Total refresh.
Oh, I cannot believe people.
What?
Covering up your new bed like that?
Oh, that's okay.
What kind of animals did you invite to this party?
We can help.
Oh, much better.
Refresh your space during the spring savings event at Haverty's. Plus, enjoy 24-month no-interest financing. Haverty's, discover something new.
Save big at Bob Bell Chevrolet in Baltimore and Bel Air. Enjoy special offers when you upgrade to a new, safer, more reliable Chevrolet. Upgrade now and lower your payment with up to 15% off select Chevy award-winning vehicles like the Cruze, Malibu, Silverado, and Equinox. And up to $2,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Plus, only at Bob Bell can you get Bell Care for life. Learn more and view all our great offers online at BobBellChevy.com or visit us today.
Now that our lawns are finally clear of snow, we can see how much work they need. An expert joins us with some ideas to spruce up our outdoor spaces Monday on Fox 45 Morning News.
Fox 45 News on the go. Connecting you to the biggest stories and latest video.
Because you can see the change.
Your Weather Authority forecast when you need it. Share your stories and join the conversation. Follow and stay connected Fox 45 News on the go.
Bob Bell is a proud sponsor of Fox 45 News.
Watch Fox 45 Morning News with Tom Rogers.
A massive baby shower is thrown for nearly 80 new and expecting moms. It's called Operation Shower.
The goal is to show military moms that they're appreciated and supported while the fathers are deployed. Each mom was hand-selected after being nominated by someone at one of the nearby bases.
Something like this makes you still gets you excited for your new coming child and lets you know that you have support.
I was really surprised. I walked in and I was just like taken aback. It was like, it's a lot.
Thanks to a partnership with Babies R Us, each mom gets the latest baby goodies. The moms say the event also gives them an opportunity to reach out to other women going through similar situations.